Hello and welcome back to the Golden Lightworker. I am the Golden Lightworker, Castalia Theo, and in today's video, we are doing What is an Elf? Part 2, clearing up miscommunications that are found across the World Wide Web. As you can see, the book is available. Link will be in the description for you to buy the ebook. I've said this a million times and I'll say it again. I did not have control over the price of the physical copy and I do not agree with it. And so I'm just promoting the ebook because I just want the messages to get across. And I don't think that they will if people are looking to buy the physical copy because it's way too ridiculously expensive. But that is a roadblock that the universe put in my path that will be overcome because the messages can still get across via ebook. So, little backstory on me, I am from a multinational home of people who speak multiple different languages, and we were looking up how to, and I'll put obviously all the screenshots of everything on the screen for you to see. We were looking up how to translate elf into other languages, and we came across that other languages, what they call elf is meshed with other terms, other things, and other things that are not what an elf is. An elf is not a word that can be translated necessarily because it's shortened from Elfian, which is the name of a realm, and it doesn't really fit into any language. It just, that's what it is. But in Greek, there are different versions to say elf, and they pluck them with other things. And some of these other things are sprites, which a sprite, I guess, could be another term for an elf. It depends on, I guess, what people see when they see a sprite. I'm not entirely sure what a sprite is exactly, and so if that is, like, if people are calling elves sprites, then that's a whole other thing. Pixie, which is a form of fairy, dwarf, midget, gnome, all of these other things that are not what an elf actually is. They just saw elf equals short. What are other things that are short? And let's plop them together into the exact same thing. The biggest thing I want to talk about is that one of the translations, and this is Greek, by the way, if you couldn't see by on the screen, one of the things in Greek is clopping them with goblin and demon. And that's where I lost it. Because I was like, okay, you know, sprite, pixie, I can see it, but hobgoblin, demon, goblin, goblins. Whew, let me talk about this. Goblins, let me actually just pull it from the book directly. But basically, the experimentation that took place prior to that, this is directly from the Elfian Animal Healer. So, Elder. So, the experimentation that took place prior to the fall of Atlantis resulting in the world that you know today and the entire evolution of our realm. We do not know much about what happened. Here's what we do know. We were hunted for sport. The humans corrupted by darkness captured and tortured elves. They wanted to create fear from a being of light because if that happened, it would give the negative forces control faster. We know that no elf fell prey to fear. However, they were killed and transformed into vessels. And that's where I'm going to stop the quote, because I know where we go from there. Those vessels were goblins, gargoyles, and golems. And that's what they were called. And this is where things get meshed together in the story of the elves because people started to blur the lines and they weren't able to see the full picture and to see that these were two completely different entities. And I could see that how that could happen in translation. How demon happened, I don't know, but basically I was trying to figure out how am I going to tell some of my family that they're Greek what I do because they don't know anything about me. And that's where this whole thing came from, where I'm like, let's look up the translations to see if, like, I could explain it to them, or it could be explained to them in Greek. And seeing that one of the words that means elf also means demon, like, one, that's gonna scare them, and two, I don't like that. That like hurt me, because a part of and it's explained in the book, but we all have an eternal friendship with a specific elf. I have it with more than one of the elves because I'm their communicator. And it just kind of breaks my heart, again, and I've talked about this before, to see that stuff. I'm trying to see if I can find an excerpt from one of them discussing the goblins, because they mention them. I'm pretty sure the Chief Elfian Warrior. Oh yeah, how the miscommunication. That section. So it would be, trying to find the exact thing. This is like a little, I feel like it would be easier if I was doing this through the ebook, but I got these physical copies of my book, so I might as well. Okay. In reality, those vessels, this is from the Chief Elfian Warrior Elder. Well, chief means elder. In reality, those vessels were called goblins, golems, and gargoyles by those who knew the truth. Sadly, it was not long before people started telling stories of the goblins but used the name elf. We call ourselves the Elfian realm, but that is just the human language translation. The actual name of what we are is Yagamas. The actual translation comes from an old language of pre-Atlantis, so that is many Earth cycles ago. I'm adding that part in. That's not what's in the book. And then, let's see. So what it means is beings of divine inspiration birthed to aid the Deltian world, which is us. Elfian means eternal loving flower of inspiration, native ambers. Ambers means the petals of the flower. When we say we are made from the petals of the flower of inspiration, we mean the ambers. Native is what we are. We are the beings of the flower of inspiration. That, right there. The fact that it's plucked with demon, I just needed to talk about that. So, also, in the definition, someone in my inner circle found another fun definition thing, which was this quote that says, birthmarks are thought to be bruises left by elves. Elves don't have a physical form. The last time they had a physical form was in Atlantis, and the elders' physical appearance, if they were, which not all of them were, this one here, lovely elder here, he was in Atlantis in the physical form. But another one of the Elfian elders who was not on Atlantis in the physical form, and the only other one other than the source that I channeled, looks like this. There is no physical way for this lovely being to leave a bruise on your body. And there are so many different theories about what birthmarks are. The one that I go with, it's how you died in a past life. That's what I believe. It is a mark of that, and I feel like it's also a mark of one of the things your mom was craving when she was pregnant with you. That's also what I believe. But like those types of miscommunication things floating around, like, I'm not trying to kill people's wonder. What needs to be done is, now we're at this place where we're done with metaphors. We're done sugarcoating things. We're done being like too nice about it. Like, let's do this gently. Like, we're at this point where the truth just needs to come out, and we need to clear the miscommunications of all beings, including ourselves, including humanity in general, because we're miscommunicating ourselves all the time. I mean, there's a lot of things that miscommunicates what a human actually is. So this is the time to clear that up, because when we get to the new golden age, when we get to, fifth dimensional status, this whole world construct that we've created is going to fall away, and the best way to start doing it is to start ripping away what is out there that isn't true. Those are the only things that were jumped out to me that I wanted to discuss a little bit, just hop on and talk about it. What I do want to do is read just a random excerpt from the book, and see what pops up and talk about it. So, okay. Which section should we read? So this is from the head healer, the head Elfian healer, and this is human healer's connection to the Elfian realm. And I'm going to read a paragraph and talk about it because this came through. The healer's call is an inspiration and is something that keeps souls coming back to Earth long after doing what they were created to do. You have a choice once you complete your purpose and ascend to a higher level, because that is why you want to complete it. You want to complete it to ascend to the next level of existence. And when you ascend, you are given a new reason for being. Given is not always a proper term, because those who take the healer's call tend to choose the healer way and continue to come to Earth, and risk getting lost just to help heal. That is what being a healer that's when being a healer becomes a soul's purpose. They must go through that journey of hearing the call and choosing it again and again. Then they must choose to go to Earth and risk getting lost to fulfill that new purpose they chose after completing the last. The Elfian realm aids a lot in this process, as the shifts in purpose have an effect on the soul. The Elfian healers of the Akashic energy tend to work one-on-one with these souls. As the Elfian healer domain, we help the souls who feel the call understand it. Even if they do not know that we are there supporting them, they still feel like something in the universe is guiding them, and we are that something. Helping humans heal is one of the many things we do, but we were created to spread the inspiration of healing, and no matter how much we evolve, that will never change. These are the beings of the flower of inspiration. That's why my website, when I fill out things, what's my business name, I put the realm of inspiration, because that is what the Elfian realm is. They're not demons, they're not goblins. Those were things created by people corrupt by negativity that caused the fall of Atlantis. And there's a whole section in this book about it. And that's why I'm here clearing up the miscommunications, and even just in the way that they appear. It seems silly to include full big graphic illustrations, but it needs to be cleared. What they are, who they are, what they look like, what they do, what an elf is. And elf is such a harder thing to help people break away from the false construct of what media created an elf to be, because it's so associated with Christmas, and Christmas is a whole other thing that I really don't want to get into right now. I kind of got into it in the last video I did, so I'll link that here for you to check out. I will also put all information in the description, and I will be vending at a holistic fair in Wisconsin in May, so stay tuned for more details about that. If you read the book and want to have a consultation with one of the elders or any Elfian yourself, that's the place to do it. And in the future, I will open up more things for connecting to the Elfian realm, more workshops and things like that, and directly channeling them for all of you. And there will be books on their way from each elder about their domain, and there are 7 domains. So stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. See if there's any final message in the book. Here we go. Just connect to the healer. I flipped to the healer page. Again, connect to the healers. An example. I'm reading this is from the head healer. An example is if you are feeling pain in your heart, instead of asking the universe why, you can ask the healer elves of the heart chakra, the elves of the cosmic heart, and or your guide of the cosmic heart for the answer. It's the message that wanted to come through. That's the message I gave to you. Sending you light and love and inspiration, and I will talk to you in the next video, and so will the elves.